What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So what do you do when your cast iron pipes, they clog up and you try getting them snaked and you can't get them unclogged? Well, more than likely, you know, they have it's built up with the old poocrete. It's basically like concrete inside. You can see these ones has a little bit, but some spots were really bad. So I say you cut them out. That's the only way to go. These old cast iron pipes, I mean, if you go and feel inside, not that I'm gonna stick my hand in there now, but even when they're new, you know, they're pretty rough inside. So I just can't see. I mean, look at it in there. I think a turd's gonna wanna just kinda slide down that. I don't. And look at this. Nice and smooth. I don't know, I just think PVC is better. So I went back as far as I could, and I don't know why people are so afraid of cast iron. You know, it's like this, people don't want to touch it. Well, it's no different than PVC, it's just metal. And you can buy blades. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's, they have diamond blades for sawzalls that will cut this stuff, no problem. I had one blade. I cut this pipe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. No, 6 times with one blade yesterday. And I just threw all the pipes right here. So basically there was a 45 right here in this socket right here. There was a 45 aiming back towards this wall, and this is where the bulk of the clog was. So normally, under normal circumstances, you can just get your cast iron blade, cut the pipe, and leave yourself a few inches of clean pipe, and then you can put a clamp over that pipe and run new PVC. But that 45 was really clogged and I wanted it out. I wanted, you know, as fresh and clear as I could. So I actually took my torch, and this is a really good skill to have and learn how to do, which we're gonna lead an oakum this PVC manoff into this cast iron socket, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. And you don't need many tools, which we'll go over that. But just to get you caught up, I didn't have the GoPro yesterday, so gotta catch you up. So yesterday, cut out the pipes all the way back, and you can see up there, a lot of this was copper. So I hacked out all the copper, ran PVC all in there, shower, toilet, kitchen sink, and then there's a laundry in the back corner, and ran new 3-inch pipe down this wall. I have a couple of temporary hangers on it because I'm still trying to you know, get as much pitch as I can, because it's going to be pretty limited on pitch. But yeah, we're going to start doing the lead and oakum, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So let's get started. Alrighty, tools needed for the job. So there's a few specialty tools for this that you're going to need, but the rest are just kind of common tools. So the specialty tools would be, you know, a diamond cast iron cutting blade. This one's from Lowe's, but you can get them from Home Depot too. Diamond blade or carbide now, which these things, they work pretty good. You're going to need a ladle for melting the lead. You're gonna need a chunk of lead, a bag of brown oiled oakum, basically horsehair in some oil. And these are, I believe these are called caulking irons. So the long one is good for stuffing the oakum down into the female there, and the short one is good for tapping the lead in after. I'll show you. And then you're going to need a lead runner for horizontal joints like this. If the joint is vertical and you're looking down at it, you don't need this, but it's good to have. And you're gonna need a torch, a flathead screwdriver, and a hammer. Doesn't have to be a Martinez, but you're gonna need a hammer. All right, so to get basically the old fitting that was in here, there was a 45, and obviously the lead was there. The lead and this oakum was inside. So to get it out, I took my torch and I just sat here, and it takes a little while, so you gotta be patient. I mean, I imagine you could get like a small sharp chisel and carefully try to get it out without breaking the hub. I find just if you take a torch and sit here and just kind of heat up, work one area at a time, and it will start melting. And as soon as you get in a little bit and the flame can go inside, then it starts going a lot faster, and it will just melt and drip. It'll just all drip on the floor. So once you get all of that lead out, you take your hammer, give it a few taps, and that should loosen it up, and it should fall out with the old oakum, but you gotta be careful. The oakum that comes out will be like napalm. You'll think you'll have it out because it'll catch on fire. You'll think you'll have the fire out, you'll walk away, and you'll come back and the thing will be blazing again. So you either gotta bury it under dirt or put it in some water. So I already did that yesterday, and I let the hub cool down. So it's nice and cool now. Nice and clean. Just gonna give it one more little wipe down. And there's a little, so right on the inside of the fitting, you can see there's a little like divot right at the edge. I want to go and clean that out. That's where the lead kind of bites in. So I just want to make sure this is clean. Alright, so now you're going to need a PVC man-off, whatever size. This is 4-inch. This is a 4-inch PVC man-off. So this is made to fit right in here. And it's the oakum, which actually makes the seal. It's not really the lead, it's the oakum that makes the water seal. The lead kind of just holds it in place. Man, I mean, there must have been a bunch of bald horses back in the day, because they had horsehair plaster. They're using horsehair for drains. There must have been a bunch of bald horses walking around. So you take the oakum dreads, and they kind of come all twisted up. So you kind of separate them into single strands. But I start with basically 2 strands together. So this is about 2 strands. Yeah, see, it's 2 strands kind of put together. I start with that for the first one. So you want to hold your fitting in tight, and then start wrapping the oakum around and stuffing it in with the caulking iron. This is where the long one comes in handy. And we've got a foot of snow coming down outside, so I want to hurry and get this done. Get out of here. The roads are getting bad. So we just wrap that oakum around. You know what, I'm gonna switch it to a time lapse. So basically you wanna go around and just keep packing in the oakum and keep wiggling your fitting. Make sure you keep it centered and where you want it. And then you start tapping it in with a hammer. But you wanna leave, I would say, at least 3/4 of an inch for the lead, so we can pack that in. But you want to put quite a bit of oakum in there. So I got the oakum in, and you can see, you know, I just kept putting it in there and then whacking this with the hammer. You just really gotta pack it in. All the way around. And then also, you want to check, you know, periodically check that your fitting is, you know, where it should be. And you can kind of tap it around, but this looks pretty good, and you can see how solid. I mean, that oakum's pretty much holding that in without the lead. It's really packed in there. It's got that oil on it, so it kind of just packs super tight. And again, I left, no, it's about, let's see. Yeah, I would say 1/2 inch, 5/8 to 3/4-ish left. And I'm sure some viewer will come on and correct me, but if it doesn't leak, I don't care if it's supposed to be 3/8, 1 inch. I like to put a lot of oakum because I know that's kind of what makes the seal, because I've actually done one of these in the past and started running the water, and it was leaking at first, but then the water soaks into the oakum, expands, and it stopped. And obviously you pack the lead in, which we're gonna do that right now. So we're gonna put some lead in the ladle, and we're gonna start melting. But first, we gotta get our lead runner on. Basically, it's just this piece of rope, special rope, with a clamp. So if you're doing a horizontal joint like this, you want to bring the rope up to the top of the fitting, pull it nice and tight, and have the ropes coming towards you or away from the hub. And then you clamp it as tight as you can. But you want the clamp leaned back away as well, like this. Now I take my hammer and I just tap on the rope all the way around and push it in a little tiny bit. Okay, now that's good to go. So on the top, I need a light. So on the top, you see now you have that little pocket or that little hole on the top of the rope where we can pour the lead into, and it can go down inside and run itself down around the fitting. So this is exactly how you want to set it up. And again, if you're doing a joint that's straight up and down, you don't need that. You just pour the lead right in. But in this instance, we need the runner. So now we're going to melt some lead into the ladle, and we'll pour it in. I try to fill up the ladle, you know, a good portion. Not all the way, but might as well have more than you need. Get it nice and liquid. I haven't done this in a while, so let's see. Yeah, I probably wasted a bunch, but you know, it is what it is. I don't do this a lot. I don't want to do it a lot. All right. So, let's see how we did. Now you pull off your rope. And now we just got to clean it up. Tap the rope in a little bit too much, but now that looks fine. So now we're taking the short chisel caulking iron, and basically we're trying to clean up the joint. And pack this lead. I'm just going to tap it down in. I have a little bit of a weak spot right here. I didn't get all the way filled, but everything else looks perfect. So I'm just going to take some of the stuff that fell off and just pack it in. basically this lead is keeping pressure on that oakum, keep it from coming out, and when the oakum gets wet, it's gonna expand in there and just make a super tight seal, so the lead keeps it in place. And if you start running the water and notice you have a small drip somewhere, don't freak out. Just, you know, pack that lead in a little bit more and let the water run for a minute, because you'll more than likely you'll notice that after a second that leak stopped because the lead expanded. I don't know if this is correct to pack in extra pieces of lead, but I don't really care what's correct as long as it works. And you save a bunch of money. So I'm just gonna go around, pack all of this in, clean it up, and finish piping. And then we'll give it a test and see how it works. So under the kitchen sink before, they had an S-trap, which had no vent. They kind of did a half-ass vent downstairs. So for now, even though it's illegal in Mass, I threw in a Pro vent, which basically that's a valve that will let air in when it needs air and then closes when it doesn't. And now the vent's up here at least. So when they remodel the kitchen, you know, they can push this pipe into the wall and connect it to a proper vent then. But this is better than an S-trap. So the kitchen before, what they did is they had the P-trap down here. Then they ran a pipe up through the floor, and they had a T, and they had a copper pipe that ran all the way down into that crawl space and connected to that 3-inch stack that's going upstairs. Problem with that is it's below flood rim level, it's below the fixture. So as soon as it clogged, that vent filled up and it was full of crud. So I know the Pro vent's illegal, but you know what? Who cares? It's not getting inspected and it's better than what was here. It's at least working now and will work. But anyways, we're done. We are done. So there is our nice lead and oakum joint. Water's running right now. I flushed the toilet a few times. No leaks. Looking good. There it is. No more cast iron. We've got PVC now. Kitchen sink's at least got a proper vent. Well, not to code, but you know, it'll work. Everything else down there looks good, had a vent. But yeah, that's it guys. I gotta get the hell out of here. I'm gonna have to dig my way out. So make sure you subscribe, thumbs it up. See you later.